everyone, in this video we will cover the current affairs. I am Nuzhat Sana. For mobile optimized ebooks, please install GK Today Academy app. You can attend the quizzes on this app for better practice, and after that you can also read the detailed explanation of the questions you have missed. For regular updates, please check our Telegram channel. The link is given in the description box. You can subscribe to it if you find it relevant. For hard copy books, you can visit our website gktbooks.com. Okay. Also, our latest initiative is UPSC Prelims Test Series for 2021 and 2022 in GK Today Academy app. So if you are appearing in UPSC Prelims, you may consider joining this. So now, without wasting any further time, let's get started. So today we'll be discussing most important MCQs for 7th of July 2021. Starting with very first question, which of the following survey ships of India recently completed the survey data of the MV Express Pearl acid leak and fire accident? So recently, Indian Navy's hydrographic survey ship INS Sarvekshak has successfully completed the survey action around the site of ill-fated MV Express Pearl on 2nd of July and finally handed over the survey data to the Sri Lankan authorities. So actually the Express Pearl reported an on-board acid leak, and after that it caught fire as it was due to enter the Colombo harbour on 20th of May. So this fire was put out only after 13 days. Now apart from it, in May month we have talked about INS Rajput. Why? Because it has been decommissioned after 41 years of its service to obviously our Indian Navy. So do remember that INS Rajput is the first destroyer as well as the lead ship of the Rajput class of the Indian Navy. Okay. Then apart from it, Indian Naval Fast Attack Craft, which is also called as INFACT 81, was decommissioned in the month of January at Mumbai, and this has provided service for more than 20 years. So do remember the full form of this acronym as well. It is Indian Naval Fast Attack Craft. Okay. Then there was INS Vikramaditya, which was in light because there was minor fire on board. And then INS Vikrant is very special. Why? Because it will be India's first indigenous aircraft, and it is in news because this has been reviewed recently by our defense minister, and now it would be commissioned by mid of 2022. Also, we celebrate National Maritime Day on 5th of April to support the global economy through sea transport. Fine. Question number 2. Which country has imposed moratorium on death penalty at federal level in July 2021? So recently the US Department of Justice has issued a moratorium on federal executions while it reviews the policies and procedures. So US President Joe Biden had said on his campaign website that he would legislate the end of capital punishment at the federal level. So now there would be no capital punishment within the states, and also said to incentivize states to follow suit. So here correct answer is option number C. Now apart from it, USA is always in news for many things, like it has announced to donate 500 million COVID vaccines to the lower income countries. Then apart from it, Abhimanyu Mishra was in news these days. He is an Indo-American, and now he has become the youngest chess grandmaster at the age of just 12 years, 4 months and 25 days. And also Indian Navy has bought 3 MH-60 Romeo helicopters from USA. Also, former US President Donald Trump had nominated Indian American Ashok Michael Pinto as the US representative to IBRD, means International Bank of Reconstruction and Development. Then Derek Chauvin was in news because recently he has been sentenced for 22.5 years of imprisonment on the charge of George Floyd murder. So this case is in light because it is one of the longest prison terms ever imposed on any US police officer. Fine. Then apart from it, in February month, USA has rejoined the Paris Climate Deal because earlier it had exited from it, but just after 107 days of its leave, it again joined it. Question number 3. What was the theme of International Day of Cooperatives celebrated on 3rd of July 2021? So first of all, it is important that International Day of Cooperatives has no fixed date because this day is celebrated every year on first Saturday of July month. So this year Saturday was on 3rd of July, and that's why this day is represented as International Day of Cooperatives. So this time the theme was Rebuild Better Together. So talking about July, 2nd July is celebrated as World UFO Day. Then on 1st of July we celebrate various things like first of all Doctor's Day, and this day is celebrated in memory of Dr. Bidhan Chandra Roy, who was the former Chief Minister of Bengal. And also 1st of July is celebrated as GST Day because on 1st of July 2017 GST was implemented in our country, and this time it was the 4th anniversary of GST implementation. So for this purpose, our Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman has proposed to issue certificates of appreciation to nearly 54,000 GST payers who are disciplined enough in filing their returns, and this step has been taken to promote the sincerity in GST payings. Then again this day is celebrated as Chartered Accountants Day to cheer up ICAI, means Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. And talking about ICAI, it has recently launched a mobile application for the students named as ICAI BOS. Why? To improve the quality services provided to the students. Then also 1st of July is celebrated as International Joke Day. So this way we celebrate a lot of things on 1st of July, and all these days are quite important for your examinations. Now I am giving you a homework which will test your knowledge. Here I will write some important days and you have to tell me on which day we celebrate them, okay? So first question is, when do we celebrate World Food Safety Day? Then second is, when do we celebrate World Blood Donor Day? And the third thing you have to tell me, International Olympic Day is celebrated on which day? So one hint from my side, all these 3 days are celebrated in the last month, that is, they belong to June. So please write down your answers in the comment section. Question number 4, Pushkar Singh Dhami, who recently became 11th and the youngest Chief Minister of Uttarakhand, is an MLA from which constituency? So he has recently become the 11th and the youngest Chief Minister of Uttarakhand, and he is a member of Uttarakhand Legislative Assembly from the Khatima constituency in Udham Singh Nagar district. Can you tell me Mr. Pushkar Singh has replaced which Chief Minister of Uttarakhand? Please write in the comment section if you know. Then talking about some important personalities who are in news these days. Very first name is T.V. Somnathan. He has been recently designated as our Finance Secretary by appointment committee of the Cabinet. Then Hemant Biswa Sarma is important because he has become the 15th Chief Minister of Assam after replacing Sarbanand Sonowal. Then G.C. Murmu, who is our former Lieutenant Governor of Jammu Kashmir, he has been chosen as External Auditor of OPCW, means Organization of Prohibition of Chemical Weapons. Then Sushil Chandra is our new Chief Election Commissioner. Then there is Laurel Hubbard. This name is important because she will be the first transgender ever to compete in the Olympics, and she will be fighting in the women's 87 kg category. Then there is Rebecca Greenspan. She is the first woman official to head UNCTAD, means United Nations Conference on Trade and Development, and this organization has recently released a report titled as COVID-19 and Tourism. So this report basically tells about crash in the international tourism due to COVID-19 pandemic. Now one question for you. Can you tell me who is the first ever female astronaut of UAE? I remember I have told you about this. Then S. Rahman is our new chairman and MD of SIDBI. Then talking about some recent appointments at international level, our new Syria president is Bashar al-Assad. The new Prime Minister of Israel is Naftali Bennett, and new Prime Minister of Central African Republic is Henry Mary Dondra, and new President of Iran is Ibrahim Raisi. So this was a quick revision of your recent appointments. Now you have to tell me who is our new Director of CBI. Please write in the comment section. Question number 5. The project BOLD, that is Bamboo Oasis on Lands in Drought, was recently launched from which state in India? So actually this project BOLD is a project of KVIC, means Khadi and Village Industries Commission, and it seeks to create bamboo-based green patches in arid and semi-arid land zones. So this project was launched on 4th of July 2021 from tribal village called as Nichla Mandwa, which lies in Udaipur, Rajasthan. So actually it is unique and first of its kind scientific exercise serving the combined national objectives of reducing desertification and providing livelihood and multidisciplinary rural industry support. So it has been launched as part of KVIC's Khadi Bamboo Festival to celebrate 75 years of independence, Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. So now KVIC is set to replicate the project at village Dholera, which lies in Ahmedabad district in Gujarat, and also in Leh Ladakh region by August in the year 2021 itself. So the target is to plant total of 15,000 bamboo saplings before August 2021. Now talking about Rajasthan, it is the fifth state to complete urban local bodies reform, which was specified by Department of Expenditure, which comes under Ministry of Finance. Then a scheme is very famous from Rajasthan called Mukhyamantri Chiranjeevi Yojana. So actually it is a cashless healthless service which would be provided to all the families of Rajasthan, and under this they will get health services up to 5 lakh rupees, and this scheme was announced under the measures so as to reinforce the health infrastructure there at Rajasthan. Now you have to tell me which state or union territory has launched this scheme called Mukhyamantri COVID-19 Parivar Arthik Sahayata Yojana. Question number 6. Nipur Bharat Mission is related to. So first of all, what does this acronym NIPUR stands for? It is National Initiative for Proficiency in Reading with Understanding and Numeracy. So this is related to school education as the acronym suggests, and this mission has been created to enable the environment to ensure universal acquisition of foundational literacy and numeracy so that every child achieves the desired learning competencies in reading, writing and numeracy by the end of grade 3 by 2026 to 27. So this program will be implemented by the Department of School Education and Literacy, and it would be in 5 tiers, and this 5-tier mechanism will be set up at national, state, then district, block and school level in all the states and the union territories. Basically this mission comes under our Samagra Shiksha Abhiyan, and the program launches from 5th of July 2021. Now talking about different ministries, recently Union Minister of Education has launched UDISE Plus for 2019 to 20. What is this? Unified District Information System for Education Plus report. So this report highlights an interesting fact about Indian school education system, and also there is a scheme which is famous from Ministry of Education called E-Saksham scheme. Can you tell me with what thing it is related to? Then recently Department of Space has released National Space Transportation Policy, basically to encourage private participation in the space technology and also to put emphasis on research and development in green fuels, then reusable rockets and robotic space exploration. Apart from it, Ministry of Information and Broadcasting had instituted National Community Radio, that is CR Award in 2011 to 12 to encourage the healthy competition among community radio stations. So this time the award goes to, first of all, Radio Vishwas, which is from Maharashtra, and it has won the first prize in sustainability model. Then there is Rimjim Radio 90.4 FM Bihar. It won the first prize in promoting local culture. And third is Radio Mattoli. It is from Kerala, and this has won the first prize in thematic category. So Ministry of Information and Broadcasting have awarded these community radio stations. Okay. Question number 7. The Tunguska event, which was recently in news, happened in which year? So this event occurred on 30th of June in the year 1908, which involves a massive explosion which was caused by the airburst of very large stony meteorite, near Tunguska River in Russia. So further, it resulted in the destruction of over 80 million trees across 2,150 square kilometer of forest. So it is estimated that at least 3 people may have lost their lives to this event. So the impact crater that has caused this incident was not found. So it was expected that it may have disintegrated before it reached the surface of the earth. So this event is the largest impact event in the recorded history, and several bigger impacts may have occurred during the prehistoric era. But now, as far as we know, this event is the largest impact ever in the history. Now apart from it, Russia was in news because recently it has formally exited from Open Skies Pact, and also recently Russia and China has unveiled a roadmap for a joint international lunar research station. And also Russia and China has officially announced to extend TGNFC. And now you have to tell me, what does this acronym stands for? Please write in the comment section if you know, because we have already talked about this in the previous lecture. Question number 8. Which country has recently become 15th nation to be part of the world's largest weapons project, Joint Strike Fighter Program? So F-35 Lightning II is a next generation fighter jet which was developed by the US based Lockheed Martin. So this aircraft is capable of conducting airstrikes and also air-to-air combats. So its development was funded by US and several of its NATO allies. But the fighter jet faced several criticism for its large size, complex behavior, delivery delays and high cost. So why this thing is in news? Because recently Switzerland has ordered these fighter jets, making it the 15th nation to be part of world's largest weapons project. So this 5.5 million USD deal was criticized as the small alpine country does not require such capability to secure itself, since these supersonic jets can cross it in just 10 minutes. So do remember that Joint Strike Fighter Program has right now 15 nations in it. Apart from it, Switzerland was also in news few days back because it has banned the full facial coverings such as burqa and niqab, which is especially covered in the Muslim religion, and now women cannot wear them in nearly all the public places. Apart from it, recently Spanish government has approved the first draft of a bill called Gender Self-Identification. Means it would allow any citizen over age of 14 years to legally change their gender without a medical diagnosis or hormone therapy. Okay, so this is a bill from Spain. Question number 9. Which is the largest milk producing country in the world? So it's very good to say that India is the largest producer of milk globally with an estimated production of 208 million in the financial year 2021. Now apart from it, do remember that Indian diplomat Nagaraj Naidu has been appointed as the chef de cabinet of United Nations General Assembly. And also Maldives Foreign Minister Abdullah Shahid has been appointed as President of 76th session of United Nations General Assembly. And it has also appointed Ambassador Thilmuza Hussain as Special Envoy of PGA. And also India is a non-permanent member of United Nations Security Council. Can you tell me how many members are permanent and how many are non-permanent in this council? Please write in the comment section. Coming to the last question. Virache National Park that was recently making news is located in which country? So this national park is one of the 2 Cambodian Asian heritage parks located at the northeastern part of the country and spanning across more than 3,000 square kilometers. And it consists of semi-evergreen lowlands, montane forest, upland savanna and several patches of mixed deciduous forest. Actually, illegal logging is a major concern in this national forest since 2000, which leads to vast expanse of forest being degraded at an exponential scale. But now this situation has improved over the recent years, and the rare sighting of giant muntjak in the recent months is the outcome of this progress. Apart from it, Satpura Tiger Reserve was in news these days. Why? Because recently it has been included in UNESCO's World Heritage Site and it belongs to Madhya Pradesh. Then apart from it, now Assam has 7 national parks, in which 2 parks have been declared as national parks this year only. And which are they? 6th one is Raimona Reserve Forest and 7th is Dihing Patkai. So which are the other 5? It's Kaziranga, then Manas, Nameri, Orang and Dibru Sakhova. So these are the 7 national parks of Assam right now. Now let's start with today's quiz. Here on the slide you can see 5 questions which have been taken from the past 2-3 days current affairs. Pause the video and try to solve each of these questions. And at the end of the lecture, do not forget to share your scores in the comment section. So please be honest and do not cheat with yourself. So that's it for today. I hope you have liked the session. These were the important news and events from today, and we will meet again tomorrow with some more important current affairs. Till then, stay tuned. Thank you so much for watching, and please do not forget to subscribe to GK Today. With this, Meenu Satsana signing off.